Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Mom to Baby to Mom. To my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing, and to my dear ones, thank you for staying. So it's gonna be 1 year after I gave birth, and I've just been thinking, like, damn, it's been a long time, and it would be very nice to talk about um, my birth story. And I feel like after a year, I'm finally ready to talk about it, which is so weird. But yeah, let's hope this goes well. So today, I'm going to be taking you through my birth story. Now, every woman's birth story is different. It is a personal journey to each and every woman, and not one birth is better than the other, which is something that I actually learned when I was pregnant, if not when I actually was giving birth. Um, so, well, it all started with the pregnancy test. You know, with me, the reason why I took that test was we went out the day before. I remember I was with some friends. It was a friend's 40th. Yeah, it was a birthday. And I mean, we had some cocktails and we had some fun. I was dancing, and everything was amazing. It was perfect. And um, driving back home with my husband, I was feeling very like nauseous, but then also I felt as if like being in the car, I couldn't, it was motion sickness. And we had about a 15-20 minute drive from the place of the party to our place. And I remember I felt so miserable with that ride. And I just thought to myself, ah, maybe it's just the drinks, and maybe, or maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I'm just exhausted. This was in April last year. Yeah, it was April. It was May. No, it was definitely May, because I'm thinking the birthday was in May, and I found out on May 9. So it was on the 8th of May that we went out. Okay, cool. We get home, uh we freshen up and we go to bed. The next morning, I remember I had some clients that I was booked for. Um that's when I was running my mobile massage business, and I had this client that had booked me. So that morning I got up and I felt like, nah, I'm not feeling great. And here's the thing with the service industry, you can't just say, you know what, I'm not feeling good, so I'm just gonna cancel everything. And it was Mother's Day as well. So I called up one of my cousins and I was like, hey girls, so I'm about to do this whole thing, this pregnancy test. And funny thing, I had the pregnancy test in the house because there was a time, it was April, that was April, and I did an April Fool's on my husband. And I gave him a pregnancy test and he wasn't sure like what it meant. Um, yeah, but it was negative then. So I was just like, okay, good, that was April, now this is May. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I understand human biology and stuff, but I didn't realize that you can get pregnant within that short space. Okay, cool. I call my cousin and I'm like, yo girl, so I want to do this, but then I just I'm just nervous to do it on my own. And we're just laughing about it, like no big deal. It was just let me just do it, just to ease my mind, just to like, yeah, man. Cool. We're in a video call. I take the stick and I pee on it, and then I take it back to the bedroom and I just put it on the bed. And now I'm on the phone with my cousin and I'm like, yo, sis, what if it's actually like positive? What's gonna happen? And to be honest, for me, at that point in time, it didn't really I hadn't thought about it, like really thought about the chances of being pregnant and what it meant and the steps thereof and what to really look out for, what to look forward to, you know. I just thought, oh well, when you get pregnant, cool. You register it and eventually you get a baby out of it. Okay, cool. We wait 5 minutes. It felt like 20, or I don't know. It was the longest wait of my life. And okay, cool. I turn over that stick and it's got two lines. Okay. Um, I couldn't believe it. Okay. I was just like, oh wow. Of course, I'm a married woman and we're having intimate relations. This is bound to happen, and yeah, it's one of our plans, and I don't know if we planned it, I don't know if we're ready for it. I don't know if all these thoughts are running in my head, and I was just thinking to myself, okay, um I need to mentally prepare myself for these clients that I'm going to, and these guys, they need to have the best of me, okay. Cool. Just brush it under the carpet, and I'm like, I'll deal with this later. I'll you know uh went to the clients. My husband had just gone out when I was on the call with my sister. And when he came back, funny enough, he didn't even notice anything different with me. Like, I was just a little bit, I felt like I was walking just a higher step from the ground. I just felt a bit more gentle, a bit more fragile. It was just like, whoa, okay, I'm carrying a human being, but okay, cool, we'll do this later. Let me just, take this day and do what I need to do, go to these clients, and yeah, do this thing. So my therapist came and we got picked up by my husband's friend, and he took us to the place. And I really wanted it to be a special moment, like that moment that I tell him. Side note, I did record a video of it and somehow it got lost. I don't know how, but yeah. Okay, we get to the place, we set up, we do the massages. It was a successful event. And funny thing, one of the clients also was just in her early pregnancy days, and I was just like, okay, cool, pregnancy buddies. All right, we get done, and I drop off my therapist, and along the way, I was feeling that crazy motion sickness all over again, and it was the most horrible ride. I just couldn't. Ugh. And I just told my husband, no, I'm just getting a headache, And then I started thinking, oh my word, what tablet am I supposed to take? Because, like, I usually get headaches, and because of my eyesight, when I don't wear glasses, which I'm supposed to be wearing. But yeah, when I don't wear glasses or when I don't eat in a long period, I get these crazy headaches. So, I think he just thought it's one of those things. Okay, cool. We get home, and now my heart is racing. I'm starting to think, like, oh wow, let us now take our situation out of the carpet and deal with it, because the day is over. All right, get home, freshen up, bath, was sit and chill, dinner time and stuff. And now I'm thinking, let me just sit up a little bit, and he's like, okay, what's going on? I'm just like, nah, nothing, I just want to record it, and I have to tell you something and stuff. And then he's like, okay, cool, what is it? It's like, no, you just have to wait. And wait, he did. Okay, so I just had to take a call from my mom. Yeah. Yeah, so where was I? So yeah, he waited. Oh, and this is me trying to lay my hair down because my afro does not do edges. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, yeah, we waited and sit him down, and I told him, okay, cool, you know, Here's something for you. I had taken the pregnancy test and I had wrapped it and put like a gift ball on top of it and stuff. And he's thinking, what is this? Cool. He takes it and he opens it and he looks at it. He's like, wow. He gives me this big hug and I'm just like, okay, cool. I can get used to this. And man, it was like one of the best moments. I can just already mentally see it. It was, yeah, he was honestly one of the happiest men. And if I tell you one thing from that time I knew about it, everything changed. I started getting those pregnancy symptoms, and it started with chicken. I could not cook chicken anymore because the smell nauseated me. And then I started not liking soup and I started wanting ice. I started, those pedal pop, ice pops. I think they called ice pops. I started only wanting to eat them. And in that period we stayed in a very like hilly place. It was even called Mount, because of the mountains. Because my husband didn't want me to eat too much ice, he would tell me, no, the car does not have fuel. And believe me, I would rather walk to the shop just to get the ice. I wouldn't care about those mountains. And it was just this crazy like feeling of, I want this, I'm gonna get it, I don't care what it takes. And then, okay, another symptom I started getting even before the test. I used to run like a lot. A lot of people that knows me, they knew that I used to run like it was therapy. And then I started getting really like I couldn't complete a 1 kilometer without this exhaustion. Those days I didn't like really put it into a head because I was just like, maybe, I don't know, could be just maybe I'm heading towards my period days or something. And yeah, when I think about it now, I'm like, "Hmm, that's why that is why that was happening." But yeah, but yeah, the cravings were crazy. And my cravings were like ranging between sugar and salt, more salt than anything. And then the motion sickness got me the worst. I didn't have morning sickness, I just had that. And then I used to sleep like, I slept out of 24 hours, I'd sleep 20 of those. And at some point, my husband would just have to wake me up and be like, babe, please, you need to eat. And I'd just be like, I want to sleep. It was the most, I don't know, hectic time because I was not enjoying myself, but I just needed sleep. I just needed to sleep and sleep and sleep. I did. Okay, cool. Fast forward. This was in May. June, July, we had to move, like totally relocate provinces. And yeah, husband had gotten a job at a better place. And yeah. So now I had to move from a place where I literally grew up into a new place. And this was the same situation for my husband. He also grew up in the same area, and we both had to get everything that we had, everything that we grew up with, out of that place and go into another different place. Now, this was a big transition for us, as in, yeah, different climates even. um, we had only each other, and that's one of the things that made us really strong as a couple. We didn't have people that can easily just come and check up and say hi, how are you doing, how are you settling up. And it was okay, because at that time we could focus on each other. I made some really great friends here, and most of them, they're just not friends anymore, if not all of them. Because I only have a few. Most of them are my sisters. They're like my stronghold, and Ariella is up. Yeah, these women are great. And then, yeah, we moved here in July. Then August, September, I turned 25. It was amazing. One of my friends, hashtag sisters, took me out, and I like really, really love birthdays, especially my birthday, because I feel like, you know what? God decided that this important person is going to be inhabiting this earth on this day. So, yeah, I love birthdays, okay? So, yeah, September, October, November, December. Okay, and also one thing, after the whole first trimester thing, I honestly didn't have any issues with my pregnancy. The one time I went for a checkup, the sister, the sister was like, your baby might be a little bit big. But I was like, okay, cool. I'm like a big person, and my husband also is, so that didn't bother me very much. It was just a concern for me, but not something that I was like really something is wrong with my pregnancy and stuff. And I only had like one time that I was having like back aches, and that was just about it. So I pretty much had a great pregnancy. I was working out. Sometimes I'll even go to the gym because like I got tired of working out at home. And eventually, oh yeah, we also had, the whole maternity photo shoot thing at our place here, and it was so beautiful. I really enjoyed myself. And then I had to go back to Durban where my mom is, and I had to wait for the baby to come. I went there in December. The baby was due. Her estimated due date was like the 7th of January. Yeah. Okay, cool. And the gynae that I was seeing this side, he was like, no, you know what? There is no issues with your pregnancy, and we should be expecting a normal delivery. And with the way things are progressing, you shouldn't worry about anything. And the honest truth is, I was preparing myself for a natural delivery. I made sure I did those Kegel exercises, the ball exercises. I would, that that yoga ball, that was my best friend. I would just rock side to side, front and back, and yeah, walking and stuff. When I eventually got to Durban and waiting for the baby and everything. We spent Christmas there, everything. Well, my tummy was like huge. And I started like really, really start getting big. I got big in that period of December, January. Okay, cool. Now the countdown began, and the whole, oh, the baby is most definitely gonna come now. I go to the clinic for checkups, and they're like, okay, cool, no, nothing. Are you sure you're not getting any pains? Nah, no pains. I'd walk the heels up and down, and it was just, yeah, cool. We're just waiting now for this baby to come out. And I remember at some point I myself started getting really anxious and agitated because everyone else was so, are you sure? Is everything okay? Is the baby here yet? I appreciated it, but it was just a little bit much at times because yourself, you're like, okay, I'm also waiting, like, yeah. But yeah, that was that. But it was a great wait. Towards the end, it was anxious. The 7th came, I went to the gynae to get checked up, and everything was fine. But the baby had apparently passed her due date, and now I just have to be careful. I shouldn't go places and just try to be in one place, and my bag for the hospital was supposed to be packed up and everything, of which, if you know me, you'd know that I had this bag packed like long time, long time. Okay, we waited and waited. The 10th, the 11th, the 12th, nothing. And then my husband came because I had left him back home where we relocated, and he came to Durban now. He took his paternity leave, and we went to the beach that Sunday. I remember it was a Sunday. It was the 14th. No, it was the 15th. Yeah, Sunday the 15th. Went to the beach, and then we just had a nice time. We chilled, took some pictures, just sit and just lived in this pregnancy, this last few days of pregnancy. And then the next day, I had to go to the hospital now because the clinic said that, you know what, you're way past your due date. I was like 40 weeks by then. Yeah, I was going into 41 weeks. And they don't deal with high risk. Yeah, apparently I was high risk at that point. Okay, cool. So I went to the hospital the next day, and my blood pressure was shot. It was high, as in, I think the normal is like 120 over 80. If I'm not mistaken, I'll just double check that. But I remember I was sitting at like 140 at 140 over what? I'll just double check that. But myself, I was like, whoa, what is this? Like I was not stressed at all. I was fine. I was chilled. My man was here, and I just had a nice day with him. And okay, cool. We have a high blood pressure. Cool. So what should we do? And then they were like, okay, we have to admit you. And in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe they're just gonna keep me here for like 2 or 3 hours or something. No, they're like, you are going to be staying in the hospital now. And I'm like, aha, no. Wait, what? Why? And they're like, no, it's a bit dangerous for you to like move around with the child when your blood pressure is so high, so we have to monitor it. And I just, okay, cool, because these guys, they know best. And I filled in some forms. They took my blood pressure, they took some bloods from me. And if I should say, that was one of the most, no, they didn't take bloods from me, they were putting that drip. Yeah, the drip. uh, I don't think I had ever felt anything painful. Okay, of course I have, but geez, I had never had like a drip. Okay, this actually came out nice. I've never had like a drip on me because I've never really stayed in the hospital before. So it was wild for me. Okay, cool. Um, they did take some bloods eventually, and it was just bloody. It was blood everywhere because like now my blood pressure is high, so my blood is moving like at a high speed. And yeah, no, I did not enjoy that scenario. Okay, cool. They sent me to the labor ward. Yeah, with the other women that were pregnant, and they were Jew, and most of them, they were in pain. Okay, I sat there, and I was just, texting my husband and telling him exactly what's going on and what's happening. So I was texting him what's happening and updating him with everything. And I remember there was one time where I was sitting before they assigned me a bed. The doctor came, and they just, okay, there's another lady. Okay, this baby's up. Let me just check up on her. Okay, so this place is quite hot. So the fan is always on. Hi, baby. Hi. Um, at this point, contemplating whether to record while she watches Miss Rachel or she should just sit and eat without stimulation. Hi, baby. Okay, so we're back. Baby's eating. Hi, baby. Yeah. So where was I? Oh, yeah. So I went into the labor ward, and it was so wild. So I'm sitting there, and the doctor comes in. Yes, the doctor comes in, and this one lady, she was on the bed. They covered, her space, and apparently they gave her, that, I don't know what you call it, but it's apparently a medicine that makes you induce labor. Yeah, she was getting inductions and stuff, and she was screaming. It was so horrible. At that point, I even forgot that, what, I also have to get this baby out one way or another. Cool. Eventually they set up for me, and I think I sat there for like a good 20 minutes or so. I was unbothered, like, honestly. I just, okay, cool. This is where we are. And I was talking to my husband. Like, as long as my husband knows about stuff, and as long as I'm talking to him, I'm like, cool. I'm calm and cool. Okay. Eventually they set me up, and I had my own bed. I came, I put my stuff there, and they said that, what, you're gonna have to ask somebody to come with your stuff, and the baby stuff. At that point I'm like, oh, okay. Why? And they were like, no, tomorrow you're going to get induced, so they're going to make this baby come out. Yeah. I was like, the honest truth is, I was excited. I was just like, okay, cool. I'm getting to meet my child soon. I was looking at these ladies, and I was so unbothered. The only thing that was on my mind was, I am getting to meet my child like tomorrow, not later than that. Okay, cool. This was now on the 16th. This was 16th of January. So, sure. I get lunch. Did we get lunch? I'm actually not sure, but I think we did, or we didn't. I don't remember, but I remember, what I remember though is that I couldn't see my husband. I saw him for a short period of time, because he's that kind of man who's like, you know what, I am going to see my woman and stuff. So yeah, and my mom, I saw her for a short bit as well. This was a government hospital, so like there were a lot of rules in place, and most of them, they were just a little bit hectic, but rules are rules. Okay, cool. In the night, some ladies are going crazy. Like, you can see that this here, this here is childbirth. Like, this is a labor ward. Hey, and people are in pain, people are walking up and down, and I'm just sitting there now. I'm scared. Like, I'm thinking to myself, shoot. So I'm going to be doing this very soon as well. Like, okay, I'm not judging, because I don't know the pain that you're in, and this is probably helping. At some point, I even thought to myself, I could just give these ladies my watch, my my phone, and they could walk around for steps for me, because I was just sitting, not doing anything. I'm not in pain or anything, and yeah, these ladies are groaning and moaning, and you can see this pain this person is in. You know, I I was just thinking to myself, no, this is hectic. I had a shower in the evening, and because the labor was hot, the labor ward was hot, like it was miserably hot. So I was just like, you know what, let me just freshen up. I went to the bathrooms. There are people puking, and it was just like, oh my god, this is hectic. This is hectic. Okay, cool. I minded my own business. I went back. I sat there. I was like texting my husband. I was texting my friends. It's just like, okay, cool. Whatever. The next morning, I woke up like around 4. This was on the 17th of January. And usually my baby used to like move around that time. And it was just like a routine whereby this child moves around this time, and okay, cool, you're alive, cool. She didn't move like that time, and I just thought to myself, okay, cool, just remember this. And I just thought to myself, okay, maybe it's just the heat, maybe it's just, yeah. uh came back from the shower, had an apple, and then the doctor came and the sister, because they check up in the mornings. It was like around 5. Is it 5:30? Around there.